Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Emily and we are kicking off the 2021 Christmas decorating season with another how to put ribbon on your Christmas tree video. I have two past videos that I will link down in the description box and in the cards where I show you different techniques for how to put ribbon on your Christmas tree, and today I'm going to show you some new ones. So for me, ribbon on a Christmas tree is the absolute best way to get bang for your buck when decorating your Christmas tree, and the best way to switch up your tree every year without having to buy all new ornaments. So I typically buy my wired ribbon somewhere easy like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and typically if you get it early, like right about now, it is always 40 or 50% off. So a spool of ribbon might be somewhere between $7 to $10, and like I said, it's usually on sale. So if you get two things of ribbon, you could potentially switch up your entire Christmas tree design for $10. So that's why I'm going to show you a couple new ways to put ribbon on your Christmas tree. I typically like to use two different types of ribbon on my Christmas trees just to add a lot of different textures and interest. So here are a bunch of new ways. Just so you know, the ones in my original video are some of the more simple ones. These are a little bit more unique. So you may want to watch both videos so that you can mix and match. And I will be using techniques from both videos on my trees coming up this year. Okay, so here is a look at some of the techniques I'm going to show you today. There's two that are not on the tree because they just wouldn't fit. So let's go ahead and get started. The first technique I'm going to be showing you is, instead of using a wired ribbon, it is going to be using this ribbon mesh. So you may have seen this mesh at the store and wondered, what is this for and how do I use it? Well, this is actually, it usually comes in a package or a long roll. And it is usually very, very inexpensive. So this is a super great budget-friendly option to pack a punch on your tree and add some bulk to your tree without spending a lot of money. I am going to show you one really easy way to use this, to use it kind of like a garland, kind of like you would use ribbon. I'm sure there's a lot of other ways to use this, but I'm going to show you this one today. So I am using an artificial tree. For all of my ribbon techniques, I use the branches of my artificial tree to secure the ribbon. If you do not have an artificial tree or your branches don't work very well for that, you can always use floral wire, or a ornament hook ribbon will work as well to secure. So for this, I'm just going to start at the top of the tree and I'm going to bunch up the top and decide how long I want it. I'm going to do about this long, about a foot long, and then bunch the other side. So I'm going to take the bunched top and I'm going to tuck it into the top of my tree, and I secured it with one of the branches. So this thing gets really stuck to your tree as you're doing this, by the way, so just be mindful of that. So then I'm going to balloon it up, and then I'm going to pick another branch to secure it to. And the further back you tuck it and twist them, the less obvious it will be. You can even pull it out a little further if needed. And then you're just going to repeat. So I'm going to do another 12 inches or so, and then I'm going to pick another branch to tuck it into. You can see it creates a really pretty waterfall effect. I took my map direction, so if I was going to stick with this direction, I would need another piece to go right here. Maybe a third piece, maybe that's smaller, that goes here. Or you could take it down all the way down the front and do the same thing. So I will show you real quickly what it would look like if I took it down the front. Okay, now I am going to do the waterfall effect loops, where I'm going to use one long piece of ribbon. A lot of my techniques, I cut my ribbon into strips, but for this one, you don't want to do that. So just much like the mesh ribbon, you can do this at a diagonal or you can do this straight down. I'm going to do this straight down, and I'm going to do it right around here, so hopefully it's the best place for you to see. So I'm going to take my ribbon, and I'm going to, I think I'm going to do about 1 foot curls or loops, and I'm going to start at the top. So I'm going to tuck it into the top. Wherever you would like your ribbon to start, it's going to depend on what kind of topper you have on your tree. I'm going to secure it in there, and then I'm just going to make a loop, and then I'm going to tuck it back in there with another branch. So. And then you can always pull it once you secure it to get the loop that you want, and then you're just going to keep doing that. Sometimes you might have to adjust where you're tucking it in the branches a few times so it doesn't look super obvious that you tucked it in the branches. And then I'm gonna do another one. Okay, and this is what it will look like if you go all the way down. This ribbon was a tiny bit short, but you can have it go all the way down to the bottom of the tree, or you can have it end at any point and you could cut a tail on your ribbon to make it look like a nice, really flowing ribbon all the way down your tree. So this is what I would call the cascading loops all the way down your tree. The next technique I'm going to do is going to be a ribbon bow. So this is a 5 loop bow, and this is a smaller size that you could tuck into your tree like this. And can't really see that. This would just be a really fun statement piece that you can have these ribbons throughout. You can use any sort of ribbon to get this look. You can also use this same technique to create a very large bow to use as a topper for the top of your tree. So I already made this one for you guys, but I'm going to show you how to make one. And I just love how that looks on the tree. I think I might use this technique on my tree this year. So I'm going to get a long piece of ribbon. This one's probably longer than I need, but and you're going to decide what size bow you want. So that's going to determine how big of a loop you want. So as you can see, this one's a little bit smaller. We're going to try and make a little bit bigger one with loops about this size. So you're going to take your ribbon, remember it has to be wired ribbon, and you're going to create a loop, like so, and then you're going to pinch it, and then you're going to flip it and create another loop and pinch it. Make sure your loops are as close to the same size as you can get them. And then you're gonna flip and make another loop and pinch. If you've ever made a ribbon bow, it's the same idea. And we're gonna do it again. Okay, that's 4 loops, so we need 1 more. And the key here is that you have to pinch all the pieces together. Now there's 2 ways you can secure this. You can use the tail end of your ribbon to wrap it around and secure it. This is really going to depend on what kind of ribbon you have. Some are going to be more wired and make it easier to do this part. So you can just secure it like that, or an ornament hook and wrap it around to secure it. So I'm gonna do both here. So I wrapped my ornament hook around, and hopefully that will keep it together. Just wrap the ornament hook around there. And then you can adjust your loops as needed, but this would be a really nice size to use at the top of the tree. I can't really reach the top of my tree without a ladder, but so you can still use that size and tuck it in to the tree. You can leave a tail at the end of your bow, and then, or 2 tails on each side when you make it, and you can let them cascade down. Or you could cut a strip of the same ribbon, and wherever you place it, you would just tuck the ribbon in. And I would probably make like a cascading loop like our last tutorial, like that. And there you go. It looks like you have a giant bow coming out of your tree. So we just made these bows, which are more of a spread out bow, and then this is a very similar technique to use one that looks more like a Christmas bow, where you have one of your pieces in the middle. So I'm going to show you how I made this one, but same thing, you could just tuck it into your tree. And this is a similar concept, it's actually just much more simple. So you do the same thing where you make your loops, and make all your loops. Make the first 2 loops the same size. I'm gonna make my 3rd loop a tiny bit smaller. Then make the last 2 loops the same size as the first 2. So 5 loops total. And you don't have to switch back and forth like on the last one. You're just going to do them all side by side. Let me fix the sizing on these. Okay. And then you're gonna pinch them all in the back, and you're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna wrap this around, and then I'm just gonna pull these apart. So it looks, that's why I did my one in the middle a little smaller. So it looks like a traditional Christmas bow. And again, you can just tuck that into the tree wherever you need a nice, beautiful bow. And you can do the same thing where you can leave tails and tuck them into the tree, or you can use a separate strip and tuck it in the same way. And if I was gonna put this on my tree, I would probably cut the tails at the end of this bow. So I'm gonna show you this bow up close. Okay, here's a look at that bow, and I just have it tucked in. This is the tail that I had left at the end, and then this is the separate piece I just tucked in to make it look like a tail. This would be super pretty on top of a tree, or honestly just throughout, and use this ribbon technique. It could fill in a lot of space for a very small amount of money. And here's a comparison of the 2 bows. So here's the one with the open look, kind of almost looks like a flower, and here's the one that looks more like a traditional bow. This technique is something a little bit different. I actually got this idea from Remington Avenue on Instagram, so if you don't follow her, she's a must follow for home decor and DIYs. But she did something like this last year, which I just thought was a cute idea, where she made ribbons and put them on ornament hooks. And she used 2 pieces, so I'm using these pieces really so they'll show up on camera. And this is a shorter version that I've layered. And this is like the easiest thing. This is like the easiest ribbon to do because it's like no effort because you're using a hook. So what I did here is I have one longer piece. This is probably like 16 inches. And then this one's probably like 10. And I layered them. I found the midpoint of them and I layered them. And then you just pinch and you twist so that they go forward like that. And then you just wrap it in your ornament hook. And because you have it in an ornament hook, this is also how you can easily just hang it on your tree. And it's fun because it kind of looks like a tassel. So for this one, I'm going to cut it so it has tails because I think that would look good. Okay. So just wrap your ornament hook around anywhere where you want those. And I just think these are really fun. These could be a really fun addition to a more whimsical tree. So this is what these look like, kind of just like a tassel. Very easy, just like a tassel. And I just have it secured here with an ornament hook. And it's still wired ribbon, so you can still shape them as you want. And she actually suggested that you can hang an ornament right in the middle to create a very layered look. So pretty much this, here is an alternate version of that. Instead of layering two, you can use a longer piece and you can kind of give them a curl. And honestly, even longer than this would probably be better. And if it's wired ribbon, you can just curl it and then you can just hang it on the tree. And again, it'd be really great if you put an ornament right in front of it. So you can see, just hangs like a ribbon curl. All right, guys, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new ways to put ribbon on your Christmas tree. These are plays on each other, but there are 6 new ways that you can put ribbon on your Christmas tree, and I am so excited. I am definitely going to use one of these bow techniques on my tree this year. I'm not sure which one. And I'm going to be decorating 2 different trees, one for YouTube and one for our family, so maybe I'll use one on each. But I hope that this was helpful, and I hope you also watch the other videos and stay tuned to watch me decorate my Christmas tree for 2021. And definitely stay tuned to decorate an entire Christmas tree with me. The next video should be a new design on decorating the Christmas tree, and then later on I will show you how we decorate our family Christmas tree for this year. But I am so excited to get to decorating and into the holidays. So see you next time.